I was hoping I'd catch you here, because I want to talk to you a bit more about fear and the effect it can have on your life. But it's a bit wild out here, so I'll see you at the top and we'll have a bit more of a chat. So, catch you in a minute. Bye for now. Hello. Well, I've got the top, got myself a cup of tea, and I thought I'd just have a chat with you a bit more about fear. If you've read the Procrastination is Your Best Friend report, you've probably begun to get an understanding of how fear is the underlying factor in driving your procrastination and your unwillingness to follow through on the things that are important to you in life. What you might not have realised yet is that fear is actually one of your body's primary motivation drivers. It's one of the fundamental forces that's controlling your life. And if you learn to recognise and manage your fear, you'll literally change your life. So before we go any further, let's have a quick chat about what actually is fear. Well, fear is your body's natural response to threat. In history, when we were living in caves and things, if we were in danger, we got an instant flood of hormones that told our bodies to either fight or run away. Fear is the very thing that kept your ancestors out of the mouths of saber-toothed tigers and bears. And it's a good thing. The problem is that most of us aren't facing the threat of being eaten by bears or saber-toothed tigers anymore. But our bodies still retain that primitive mechanism. And any time we feel threat or any vague uncertainty, our bodies, the only way they can react is by releasing the fear hormones, which set you off on the fear response. So fear actually occurs at the edges of your comfort zone. I'll just get my pad and I'll show you what I mean by comfort zone. Comfort zones are the area in which people spend their time. In any area of life, everybody has a zone in which whatever action they take or thoughts they think, they feel comfortable within that zone. What happens is, as you get towards the edge of your comfort zone, you begin to feel a sense of anxiety, fear or excitement, and depending how you interpret that, you'll either turn back or stretch through it. Now, it's not a static system. What happens is, if you're someone who chooses that they don't really want to spend their time at the edges of the comfort zone, at first you feel comfortable and okay about it. But what happens is, over time, because you're not spending time out here, it's almost like a balloon that collapses back in on you, and you'll find that you still have a comfort zone, only now it's much smaller, and even the day-to-day things that you do in your life will begin to get towards the edge of what you feel comfortable with. This is the basis of the saying that comfort makes cowards of us all. The fact is that if you try and spend your life comfortable, what will happen is your comfort zone will shrink and you'll begin to fear change. Even small changes will begin to cause you anxiety. But luckily, it also works the other way. If you choose, even if you're in a small strangulating comfort zone like this, if you choose to start spending time at the edges of it and exploring and using some of the tools that I'm going to teach you here to actually expand your comfort zone, what you'll find is that your comfort zone doesn't stay as it is, it expands outwards, and as you move forward and develop the skills, you'll continually expand your comfort zone. So what happens is, instead of it being a limit on your life, it just becomes where when you get to the edges of it and you start to feel that sense of anxiety, fear or excitement, you begin to recognize it as just a sign that you're about to grow even more. And it's that fundamental skill that's going to make all the difference in your life. And that brings me to why I'm up here at the top of a hill on my bike talking to you. When I was growing up, my dad said to me that it's really important to learn to climb hills on your bike. And without actually realising why, I actually learned to love riding uphill. But as I got older, I began to realise why that was. You see, the thing is, if you're into riding bikes, if you don't learn to ride hills, they become the walls that actually dictate where you can go and what you can do on your bike. And I've heard lots and lots of people say, I'd love to go on that ride, but I really don't want to ride that hill, without realising that they're allowing the hills in the local area to become the walls that control their life. You see, that's exactly the same as not knowing how to manage your fear. If you have vague feelings of uncertainty and fear, and you don't learn to deal with them at the small level, what happens is they develop into the walls of your own comfort zone, and they define the limits of what you'll try to do and what you'll achieve in your life. So that's why learning to control and manage your fear is one of the absolute basic core skills that helps you change your life completely. Any program that's based on time management, goal setting, or some quick flash of motivation is going to fail in the long term, simply because as you go off and move into new areas in life, if you haven't learnt the skill of overcoming fear, you'll start to bump into fear in any area of your life, because we all do. Going into new situations, fear is a very natural response. And if you haven't learnt to deal with them, those fears will push you back into your old comfort zone sooner than you can say Jack Robinson. So that's what this whole video is about. What I want you to do is to just take some time as you go through life for the next few days and just notice when you're thinking about making that phone call, writing that report, whatever it is, and just notice how underlying that is fear. And I'll be back over the next few days to help you get an understanding of what you can do to finally take control of this, break that procrastination habit, and begin to design and live a life that you really want to live. So with that, I'm off to enjoy the rest of my ride, and I'll speak to you tomorrow. Bye for now.